Traders, welcome back to another Relentless recap. Guys, as you're tuning in, you know the drill. Hit the thumbs up. Let's aim for 150 likes here on this YouTube recap. So, it's Friday, which means study time. Study time with Relentless. Now, today we only really had one stock, and I only traded for about 40 minutes. So the study session is going to be short and sweet. Usually on Friday, we try to aim for that longer study session going through everything, but only one stock to review, and that is stock ONFO. Now, honorable mention, we have an honorable mention. Let's pull it up. That's ELEV. ELEV, good stuff pre market, nice cup, handle, breakout. Now, I don't trade pre-market, and liquidity, volume, right? Volume usually isn't as high, but let's see, 96,000 shares on some candles, not too bad. 50,000, slow and steady. You definitely want to be holding longer, right? Beautiful move pre-market, but as we know, a lot of the times when these stocks complete the pattern, oftentimes we don't see that follow through in second leg, second pattern into the open. This one just, it's backside, selling off, selling off. 1 minute candle did make the new high right here over 528, pushing up to 540. But ultimately, just a lot of red, a lot of weakness. Very difficult to make money on these drops. You guys know I prefer uptrending stocks that are pulling back and trending up. This is trending down, small bounce up, trending down. You can make money going long, but I mean, it's very, very tricky. It's best to just be short. If I'm a short seller, just sit in. Of course, it's difficult as a short seller as well to anticipate this type of drop, right? But if you can't get it, the entry, this is what you want. This is a short seller's dream. Wash out long, bounces at VWAP, sells through that level, comes down lower before curling. All right, quick interruption from the recap to talk about the MMU Manifesting My Future Challenge. Yesterday was the deadline. Big shout out to everyone who did submit a video. Very heartwarming stuff. And yes, you guys did make it tough on Marcelo and myself in selecting the winners. In terms of the announcement will happen on Monday. Right now, we're not quite sure of the time, so keep an eye on chat, keep an eye on Discord. Around Sunday afternoon, we'll put out a schedule in terms of when we'll go live and talk about the videos, and of course select the two winners, right? The two lucky winners. Besides that, everyone else, coupon code manifest is still live, and it will remain live until the 31st. All right, so if you want 50% off MMU gold or silver, you still have a chance. All right, let's head back on to our recap. ONFO, this one on the other hand, big move early, sold off, and it's going a little sideways into the open. We get the opening surge, big green candle ripping through pre-market pivot. Well, rather, let's say, a bit of a midpoint, right? We could say around, $2, right? Break of two, if we put a trend line up here. Rips through break of two and comes up nicely. I was not paying attention to this one. I might have overlooked it on my scans. I think I did overlook this one on the scanner. Um, I'm not sure why I was so careless. I should have double checked, but sometimes you do make mistakes. So I wasn't aware of it up until around 9:32, 9:33. We had a high point of 20. It drops down. Initially, I buy the dip at 206, but I started to think, hey, is the stock failing? I look down to my 5 minute chart. The 5 minute candle is bullish at the time. So I'm like, oh, you need to buy back. I buy back. I only get to get in with 1,000 shares, small size. I'm in about 201, out at like 209. Not the best trade considering this candle went all the way to 25. What I would have needed here to do well was to be a little earlier, had the stock on watch already and paying attention to it. If we get this type of drop and I'm ahead of the game, I can be in, even if I'm in at 6, I can get back in lower, more size, just, more in control, more in the driver's seat in terms of just attention, right? Attention buys you time, times buy you option. Attention buys you time. You guys can write that down, right? Attention buys you time, and time buys you options. So when you're paying attention, you'll be able to make a decision essentially, right? If you're early, if you're aware. And I was late, so I kind of, had to work with what I had. And so I'm only in 1,000 shares out at '09. It keeps going. It does pull back here to 12. And I nailed this pullback here beautifully, beautifully. And then again, it pulls back to 10. I nailed this pullback, wonderfully. And so these are really the only two trades I properly captured. It got back up here, nasty drop. I did avoid this red candle, but nasty drop. And after that, it tried one more time, and then that was it. It seems like what this seems like is that, because, and for those of you who don't know, there's a holiday. There's a holiday on Monday, which is Memorial Day here in the States. So salute to all the military personnel for your bravery. And there's a holiday, right? I think a lot of people did not trade today. The volume wasn't there as it was the rest of the week. And so I think we'll expect a strong Tuesday when we get back. Today, the volume wasn't there. So, we just had to work with what we had. Moving forward, let's take a look at the archive. Guys, next week, I don't know if I'll show any archive at all, right? I've been showing a ton of archives. Next week, I don't know if I'll be showing any, right? That's, have to be fair to the students, right? So here we go. ONFO. I'm in 2,500 at 15. And our 5-minute candles, our 5-minute chart is very bullish at this time. So when it goes lower, I'm comfortable adding here. And, quick side note. I'm in at 15 and I want to scale out in 500 share increments. So I had 500 shares in my order entry window. Now, ideally on this pullback right here, I would have wanted to be buying 2,500 share blocks to go up to 7,500 shares. Now, at the time, only 500 shares are in my order entry window, so that's the quantity that I'm going to get as we drop down. A little unfortunate there. So I'm in a third of the size I would have wanted to be in. Just keep that in mind right here. So, this in a sense is like an incomplete trade. But, that's how it goes. Sometimes in the moment, things are moving so fast, you kind of get the bigger pullback. And, you just got to make the best of it. So again, we're around 17, 18. It pulls back here. I'm going to add. I'm only adding because the 5-minute candle at this time is so bullish. If it's not, I'll be selling, for a loss, maybe break even. It bounces up. I sell 1,000 immediately, taking the 10-cent pop. And now I'm just waiting to see how far we can go. There's 24, 25. Okay, I'm selling a little bit more. And so, I always say if I get the 1-minute pullback in an area where I'm comfortable and I feel good about the entry, I will hold it. Now, if I'm in higher and I'm not as comfortable, I'll sell early and then I'll start to scalp the move as it goes. So scalping for me is essentially a way to not miss the move if I'm not comfortable at the lows, right? If I'm in at the lows like this, you'll always see me, scale out. And now, I can add back to, because my average is so low, right? My average here is 211. The last 500 shares were at 230. It's a great trade. But just imagine if I was able to add 5,000 versus just 1,000, we'd be up 1K already on the stock. So that was the trade of the day. And again, as mentioned, because today wasn't, there wasn't a ton going on, that's all we had. After that, I sold. What time was that actually? Let's see what time. This was at 40. That was right here. It does the same thing again, essentially. 5-minute candle still looking good. So I buy back. We repeat, re-ranks, we repeat. And then it sold off. So that's going to do it for the recap. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button. If you're a new viewer, consider subscribing. And remember, I'll be live again on Tuesday around 9:15 a.m. All right, guys. I am signing out.